Tell us what you call your grandparents and where the names originated.
So we call them Nana and Pop. I don't think any of us really knew why we called them Nana and Pop. We just always have, but we asked last night, and my Nana used to call her grandmother Nana. So it was great-grandmother. So it was really special to her, and she chose that. And then my Uncle Bo actually came up with Pop because
he wanted to be confused as my dad. If like he was out, because they felt like they were really young grandparents. Because my dad had me when he was 23. So they weren't ready to be called grandma and grandpa yet.
Maisie, is it true that he calls all the time?
Yeah, that's something that I feel like some people don't believe when we say that he literally calls, not just like one of us every few days. He calls me, then he calls Naomi, then he calls Finn, then he calls Natalie, then he calls Ashley, and then he calls little Hunter.
And then he does like the big group text.
Yeah, and then he has a group chat after
called.
like all of us may have rejected his call, like on a day where we're all busy,
really
and he
funny
texts
because-
us like, just tried calling you guys, missed it.
It's so weird because he like has like this weird thing where he can put stuff in bold letters.
Yeah, he says
that's the subject line.
He puts like subject.
He's
where are
like,
you?
good morning.
But then if you call him back, or at least if I do, he's like, it's like a world war has broken out. Like, what's wrong? Like, the second
When we arrived to the lake, me and Finn got there pretty late at night, and my pop was still up at 10 p.m. And I was like, Pop, what are you doing up? And he was like, well, I wanted to wait until your sister Naomi got here because she called me earlier and I missed her call, and I just want to make sure that she's okay because
she's the most unreliable.
She got there at 11:30 p.m. and he was like worried that
bad.
there was something wrong with her when we have Secret Service and we're so safe, and he just always thinks of like the first thing, like the worst thing first, which is
You know, but
so
there's
cute.
also something so beautiful about having grandparents that love y'all that much.
it is. It's really amazing.
And Maisie, you know, people might think like, well, no, he was vice president, like he couldn't go to games or concerts or any of that, but he sat at your basketball games.
He sat at, I think he, more than my dad, came to like every single one of my soccer games, lacrosse games, basketball games. Like he was at everything that he could make it to, and it was always funny like seeing him show up when I was like, I think I just saw you on TV about 30 minutes ago. How did you just end up here? And he was like, don't worry, I knew it was a big game today. So it's really nice knowing that he'll always be there when I want him to be there, and he'll drop anything.
The worst part
for
is
us.
when you lose, the losing team would ask. I mean, when we would lose a sports game, I used to play tennis, so obviously it's very personal when you lose a match. And the girls across from me that won would always go and ask for a picture, and I was like, take a picture. And
He's
he was
my
like,
grandpa.
Yeah, especially with like basketball too. When I would lose a game, and it would be like girls throwing elbows at me, and then like they would get up and be like, good game, can I go take a picture with your grandfather? And of course I'm not going to be like, no, and I know my pop's going to say yes, so I have to go along with it. But
Is it true that his colleague, President Obama, was your coach?
it is true, yeah.
Totally normal.
I know. There's a lot of teams that were like, this is unfair. They can't have the president be their coach. But, I mean, we won our game, so maybe it was unfair. But I think Reggie Love had something to do with that, because him and President Obama would take us to the gym on like every Saturday, and he would just do like really fun drills with us and kind of teach us like maybe one or two plays. But it was a lot of
Ashley,
fun.
when you were a high school field hockey player, your dad was like the most embarrassing guy in the stands.
Yes, I mean, he would come to the games and stand right on that sideline where everybody else was in the bleachers. But Dad was up, you know, you got this, and run, were you running fast enough? But he was always there to show up and to give encouragement.
I know you were close with your grandparents as well, so to watch your dad be a grandfather, be a pop.
He adores being a grandfather, adores it. He is so happy, right? You know, even with all the chaos and everything he has on his shoulders, he is just so happy that all of us are at the lake house. That gives him such joy.
Naomi, I heard that your grandfather was a little nervous to run. He didn't necessarily want to put all of you through another campaign, and you knew that. And so you called a family meeting.
Yes.
Talk to us about that meeting.
I'm laughing because I would have taken much better notes about what happened at this meeting if I knew that this is where we'd end up and he'd run and win. I think my pop is so protective, and he would never ever do anything if he thought that it would hurt us. And I think it was very difficult for him because we've been through a million campaigns, but this was a campaign that wasn't like any other campaign. And I think it was actually little Hunter, right, who showed him something on his phone, some like tabloid story about the family, but then basically said to him, like, we know about these sort of things. We know it's going to be bad, but we have each other and we know the truth, and like we will be okay. And so I think he came out of that meeting feeling a little bit more comforted. And look, we're still standing.
Why was it so important to all of y'all that he run?
Well, I think we shared that urgency that the rest of the country was feeling, that he needed to get into the race because he was the only person that could beat Donald Trump. And I think we knew that, and we knew that we could sacrifice a little for the greater good of the country. So, yeah.
I mean, this was a campaign like no other, like you mentioned. And what was it like to be part of it?
Well, I mean, you've done so many campaigns, so you know, but it really, we started in Iowa and ended up on Zoom. So it was like a whirlwind, but it was really fun. We got to go all over the country, and we were saying it was actually really fun because we got to spend so much time with our grandparents when we otherwise probably we would be busy in school and sports. So it was a good excuse to be together as a family. We had the opportunity to be even more involved because of social media and the nature of just online campaigning, which was so new, and we've never done that before. So it was really weird, but it was really cool.
I feel like we had something to show them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, do you all say, like, oh, by the way, this is TikTok? Or, you know?
Natalie is like,
I
always
always show him has like 1 million followers on TikTok. So do you
say, Natalie, are you like pop? And
Yeah, well, he usually, whenever I talk about my TikTok, he gets so scared. Like,
TikTok
it
is
brings
not
up a
something
nerve
that
in him.
Well, we tried to explain Instagram to him right when it was coming out, and he was like, I don't understand why you would post it to 500 people. If you want to show someone a picture, just send it to them. And we were like, no, you don't get it.
more about, like,
and
the
then
feed.
all night until like 3 in the morning, we were all getting pictures that he was sending to us to prove a point. Like, oh,
Yeah, was that at Thanksgiving in
during
Nantucket?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he
like, you
loves
should get
taking
one.
pictures and printing them. We probably have like 100.
It's the
That's-
best.
that's what
Dad,
he did
we
last
used to get so annoyed,
Yeah.
you know, even since little, but we have tons. I am so grateful. We are so grateful to have all of these pictures documenting.
Like 100 photo books.
my grandmother loved to take pictures too, and she would print like the paper.
Wait,
That's what
so
he does.
Dad, all right, he got a printer. So we would be to have a birthday party, and he would, before you go out the door, he's giving you prints, right? He would love to print them and give them to all of us.
I got him a Polaroid for Christmas this year.
Oh, nice.
good
That's
gift.
a good gift.
Yeah.
Natalie, talk about your Thanksgiving tradition.
Well, Thanksgiving, I think, is all of our favorite holiday because we usually go to Nantucket. But Maisie and I, and my grandpa and my uncle and my dad, we used to do the polar bear plunge in Nantucket in November.
And it would always be crazy because they would have to bring all of the divers and the swimmers for Secret Service for my pop, and it's like me and Natalie and him holding hands, like sprinting into the water with like 70 local Nantucket.
And there would always be like 3 people at the beach because it was like a public thing that would just have like a bunch of Joe Biden hats. And that was so funny. It was the best.
Talk to me, Naomi, what are you most excited about?
I'm most excited, I think, to see what my Nana and Pop are going to do. I mean, they are so excited. They have so many plans, and it's just a time in their lives and our lives and in America where we have the opportunity to do so much and to do things differently. You know, I think everybody is realizing that a lot of the way old things were going wasn't working. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited that they'll be just, you know, a few miles away from my apartment, so I can go steal some free food from the kitchen.
Family dinners are taking on a whole new meaning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finn, what about you?
I think I'm excited to spend time with our family, because when my pop was vice president, it was also an opportunity for all of us to be together and go on these family trips. Or it really brought us together in a way that I don't think we ever could have anticipated. So now that we know, we have an idea of what's going to come in the next 4 years, I'm really looking forward to being able to spend some quality time with my family.
Has your mom heard from Melania about Trump, about doing the traditional protocols?
No, I don't think they're doing the traditional protocol, which is unfortunate, but I think we're all okay with it.
Yeah. And you guys, you know Sasha and Malia, so in some ways do you feel like you've already been advised about what life is going to be like?
Well, we have had, Maisie and I and Natalie and Naomi have had the privilege of being able to see two of our friends, navigate 8 years of, and what you did, and so navigate 8 years of what was really difficult, and they did so beautifully, and they came out so grounded and humble, and they're so smart and driven, so I think we can only take advice from them.
Yeah. We can only hope to do as well as they
did.
They just did it so beautifully.
But they've been so nice in offering advice to us and, support. So it'll be weird though when they come to the White House to hang out and
I know, I'm so scared.
But the most beautiful part about the White House is the people that work there. And I'm sure y'all know from the Vice President's house that they are really the ones that make it feel like a home. So how much fun for them to see, Buddy, who has been there since I was in first grade.
Is he still there?
He's still there.
Oh my gosh, wow.
I know, y'all remember Buddy too?
Yeah.
That's insane.
So it's going to be, I think that's the real beauty of it. So talk to me about Inauguration. What is it you think it's going to be like for your family?
I think we all just feel so grateful that we're going to be able to be together during this super exciting and special time. Even if we were watching it on television, if we were all together, I think it would have the same effect. I don't know what to expect though.
It's definitely going to be better since it's virtual just for us, because we always get so worked up getting ready and.
That is true.
Yeah.
Our family is we like to go to the party, say hi to everyone, and then do a little Irish goodbye.
Yeah, we honestly will probably.
And then we go and sit around the table and hang out
Be
just
together.
us. We don't like to extend the party really to many other people because we end up getting pretty awkward or uncomfortable.
The night of the election,
Yes.
we all, we were on stage, and then we all went home and got McDonald's.
It was really fun. I think we were the ones who were trying to lighten the mood the whole time, which kind of helped us.
I had my manifestation rock.
Oh my gosh.
We're all handling stress in different ways.
It showed all of our personalities. I slept for a week straight. Natalie's walking around with a random rock she found saying, touch this.
Yeah, I put it up to the full moon, and I had everyone in the house touch it, and it worked. So
I was trying to distract myself as much as I could. Me and little Hunter ended up going out on the canoe a lot and trying to fish in a pond that has no more fish in it, which we knew, but in the back of our mind, we were like, maybe one will bite. Let's stay out for another 30 minutes. We'll see. Should we go to the left side of the pond? We were just kind of trying to distract ourselves as best we could.
Now, on Saturday morning, when the election was finally called, what was that moment like for your family?
I think we were so exhausted. We were just also completely overjoyed and proud. And the night before, we had a dance party in the kitchen with the whole family, with Nana and Pop, Mom and Dad, and the whole family. And we put on songs and just danced because we thought we were, things were looking good. And then the next morning, I think we were just all really overwhelmed with emotion and relief.
And we had no idea it was coming too.
Yeah,
so,
we had been
I think that was
staying
kind
up
of the fun of it, is the whole week we were like, okay, well, we think it's going to go well. It's ruined. We already know it's going to happen. And then when the results came out, it's your whole body, everyone was crying. It was just we embraced each other. And I think we'll always remember that moment. And also, minutes
Watching
before,
everybody else
we told
celebrate,
Natalie
too.
that if she jumped in the
yeah.
lake,
The lake is very dirty.
it's like
the
the
lake
pond
of it
jumps
is
in it.
Did she
all
jump in?
seaweed.
It's like a puddle.
Well,
and
no,
she jumped
well,
in.
And I jumped in. They were like, if you don't jump in, we're going to lose. So then I jumped in. And then my Uncle Hunter came out and said that we won Wisconsin. So she's very gullible.
You know, this year people have been separated from their grandparents. I know my parents didn't get to see my kids for 7 months. For a period, y'all didn't get to see your grandparents. What was that like?
It was so sad. I mean, we haven't seen our grandparents from Chicago since the pandemic started. But I think, like everyone else, it's just heartbreaking to know that there are so many families alone and, you know, suffering the consequences of this pandemic. But we're hopeful that in the coming year, things will change and we'll turn a corner. Because we want to see our other grandparents too.
Who is most like your pop?
Probably Finn and Ashley. I mean, I would
Maybe
say that
me
in
in
the
the
sense
caring
of
way.
Maybe you.
liking politics and being great speakers. It would be you two.
Who is most like your Nana?
Finnegan, I feel like also.
Really?
Yeah.
You think I'm similar to Nana?
I don't know.
You guys get along so well.
We get each other.
Yeah, like they really get each other.
She likes to
But
prank.
she is her own, like, I've never met anyone like her, actually.
She's her own breed of.
Yeah, what she likes to prank, right?
Oh my gosh, she loves to prank. On Halloween, she came downstairs in a fly costume and woke us up. Like, I've never been so terrified in my entire life. She's like over me, like poking me. I was like,
Who do you think will be taken on the first foreign trip?
Probably Natalie. Yeah.
well, we all hope ourselves.
That one's like up for debate because it's probably going to be me.
But yeah, no, I feel like
Who's gonna dance while J-Lo performs?
Ashley.
Ashley likes to dance.
I do.
Ashley will have.
gonna be dancing the best.
I will. You will all be dancing with me, though.
Yeah.
Okay, who is gonna share ice cream with your pop?
Maisie?
Maisie.
Even though I'm lactose intolerant.
Really? Who's the most excited about Secret Service?
Naomi didn't have her license, so I'm going to go with Naomi.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually did just get, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys have any questions for me before we wrap it up?
Do you have any secrets to tell us about
Yeah.
in the White House?
Yeah, are there any
haunted.
secret doors, secret closets
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
look in?
Yeah, upstairs. Yeah, there's some cool places to hang upstairs. There's a secret door, and there are some ghosts, but they come in good faith. They're friendly. Oh my gosh. It's so much fun. It's just such a privilege to live history, and I'm so thrilled for you all. And if you know what makes it even better is to be with your family. I have tons of cousins, and so we played hide and go seek in that huge house.
Yeah.
And I just hope you all have as much fun as we did.
Well, we're so grateful to you for
Yeah.
paving the
so
path.
much. Yeah, of
and,
course.
You know.
If y'all have any questions, I'm around.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.